why it's broken, and how it's broken.
Gotcha.
And from that, then I would share with them how to begin to create a better system.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you were just
Logan
trying to get to
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we take on the dysfunctional healthcare system with a terrific guest, a terrific author, and a wonderful physician. His name is Dr. Ira Williams. He is a decorated Air Force commander and the nation's oldest active surgical malpractice expert witness. His essential book is called Healthcare Warriors: Why and How to Become One. And in the book, he calls for healthcare game changers to initiate a logical, doable process to create a better 21st century healthcare delivery system starting in their own state. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Doctor, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Logan.
It's a pleasure to have you on our show. Tell us what core aspect of the current healthcare system has fundamentally failed the American public.
Well, as far as I can tell, I am the only healthcare expert in the nation saying I know why the current system is and has always been broken. I know how the current system is broken, and there's a distinction between why and how. But more important, I know how to begin to create a better system. And no one seems to want to talk to me.
Yeah.
I said what I just said to you. I said that in the conference room of the chief of the medical staff in Medicare Medicaid headquarters outside Baltimore in early March 1920, and they've never gotten back to me wanting more details. So I can't find anyone who seems to be interested in allowing me to share my thoughts with them on what's really wrong with the current system.
Well, you've got an audience now. We're certainly interested in finding out
Wonderful.
what is really wrong with the healthcare system.
Well,
Forget about the why. How is it broken?
Well, I'm looking for live audiences to where I can speak to them. I would love to give a presentation, and I don't believe this is the best way at this format, but I'd love to give a presentation to a live audience of people seeking to begin to have a better understanding of healthcare. The first presentation, I would give them, in my opinion, the 3 greatest healthcare mistakes. And people don't talk about these, and they don't put them together. The other, the presentation, and I would want to separate into 2 separate presentations, because after I would share this with an audience on the 3 greatest healthcare mistakes, I would expect a robust Q&A, where then once they could hear what I would share with them, which they've never heard before, then we could really get into a Q&A and dig deeper. The second presentation, then I would get into why and how it's broken by first laying out, I love history. And I would lay out how our healthcare system has evolved, beginning with the Pilgrims at Plymouth Rock in 1620 and going through the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1800s, the 1900s, and this current century, and how it kept evolving, getting bigger and more complex, and how it was growing in a way that it would fail.
Mm.
And from that, I would be able to then tell them in detail why it's broken and how it's broken.
Gotcha.
And from that, then I would share with them how to begin to create a better system.
Yeah.
And I think one of the group of people who should be interested in arranging an audience for me would be presidents of companies
Mm-hmm.
where their biggest expense is healthcare cost,
Yeah.
and they don't understand healthcare.
Yeah.
And I could tell them things that would just help them immensely. So I'm available on my website, drirawilliams.com, where I say I know why and I know how.
Mm-hmm.
One of the quotes is from Dr. Marty McCurry, who President Trump appointed head of the FDA. But Dr. McCurry has published 4 books.
Mm-hmm.
And his first book in mid-November 2012 was entitled Unaccountable.
Mm-hmm.
And that one word speaks volumes about what's wrong with the healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
And when I read his book caused me, when I closed the book, I said, I got to write another book.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote my 3rd book, Find the Black Box, Prevent Needless Hospital Deaths.
Mm.
And so what I want to share with you now are 2 current things
Mm-hmm.
that are very timely. The first is back just a few months ago in the Senate chamber. Republican North Carolina Senator Tillis said he could not vote for Trump's big bill because of what it would do to rural hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And yet the bill passed and Trump signed it. And then all the Democrats started saying the same thing. Oh, this bill is going to wreck rural hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And what they were doing was exposing their ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not their fault they're ignorant. The people who should have informed them haven't.
Mm-hmm.
All the governors and state legislators have been treating rural hospitals like illegitimate children at family reunion for the last 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah.
And when I wrote a 2nd edition on my 3rd book, Find the Black Box, I state in there clearly, in my opinion, Nikki Haley, in her 6 years as governor of South Carolina, chose to be incompetent about our state's healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main ways she showed to be incompetent was the rural hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And to make matters worse, she grew up in a small city called Bamberg, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And as she was packing her bags to go to New York City to become ambassador to the United Nations, a hospital in her city was having to close, along with 2 other rural hospitals, and she never said a word. So the rural hospitals have been ignored, poorly serviced by every governor and every state legislature in the nation for decades. And no one talks about it, but I'm willing to.
Yeah.
And so the other current thing I wanted to share with you, we're just entering the new current political process.
Mm-hmm.
I think Virginia and New Jersey are going to elect new governors in the next few weeks, and a lot of other states are going to elect new governors in the coming year.
Yeah.
And right now in South Carolina, 5 candidates have committed that they would be running for governor as for the Republican nomination.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last few weeks, I've had an opportunity to speak face to face very briefly, because there were other people in the area, with 3 of those 5, 2 members of Congress and the lieutenant governor. And what the point I'm trying to get across with the public is that if you're going to have this process in your state, where a lot of people are going to be running to be the next governor, all of them will have websites.
Mm-hmm.
And on their websites, up and beneath the banner, they're going to have all these links, a home and about and so on. And one of the links will be issues. And if you hit on the issues, then a list will drop down. And I'll bet you it will be difficult to find any candidate who wants to run to become the next governor who will include healthcare in their list of issues. Nobody talks about healthcare.
Yeah.
And I don't get it, because I want to. And
Yeah,
I
it's so
can't.
essential to all of us. I mean, in order to
Actually,
maintain a healthy life, right?
exactly. It's, people don't understand we're given one body, one life. There's no do-over.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sooner or later, that system's going to reach out and grab you, and it's going to reach out and grab everyone you hold near and dear to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And yet nobody talks about it.
Right.
No one in South Carolina wants to talk about it. I've been chasing people for 15 years, and no one wants to have a deep dive into our very flawed healthcare system. I think it scares the hell out of them.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were to put your finger on the number one problem, what would you say it is?
Well, lack of understanding, number one. I don't believe people really, it's enormous, it's complex. No one person can know everything, but to begin to understand the healthcare system, you have to understand it comes in three different levels.
Mm-hmm.
You must understand healthcare at the national or federal level. Then you must understand healthcare at the state level, where they license everything. Mm-hmm. And then you must understand at the local level, and where the people are going to reach out and grab you and cut on you. Mm-hmm. And I come from inside that system. And when I practice inside that system, I questioned and I challenged. In fact, my latest book, I've written 5 books on healthcare, mm-hmm. and a Christian book. And my latest book on healthcare is Malpractice in Medicine. Mm-hmm. And what I'm sad to say is that I practiced oral and maxillofacial surgery in Madison, Wisconsin, from the mid-60s until the end of the 80s. And sadly, they had 3 private hospitals, a university hospital and a VA hospital. I didn't visit the VA hospital. I had some connection limited with the university hospital. I was on the staff of the 3 private hospitals. Mm-hmm. And the medical staffs of all those hospitals were corrupt, mm-hmm. when it comes to questionable patient care. Yeah. And I say that because I became the second surgeon who ended up testifying against the first surgeons in malpractice litigation in all 3 private hospitals. Wow. And when I was training to be an oral surgeon, no one mentioned someday you may have to be the second surgeon. That's one of the worst things any surgeon could ever hope to have to do.
Exactly. You want to get it
because
right the first time. You don't want to be the second surgeon, I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the things I had to correct were unspeakable. And
Amazing.
yet the medical staffs in all three hospitals circle the wagons to protect the surgeons.
Of course they do. Of course they
That's
do.
when you ask for what is one of the major flaws in the current system, it is the one word title for Dr. McCary's first book, Unaccountable.
Yeah, absolutely. Doctor, we are out of time. Folks at home, you're going to want to join in on this conversation. Step one is to go to the doctor's website,
Exactly.
drirawilliams.com.
Yes.
drirawilliams.com. You can find out all of the information there about his wonderful work and about his terrific books that will empower you as well. The book we've been focusing on today is called Healthcare Warriors, Why and
Yes.
How to Become One. It calls for healthcare game changers to initiate a logical, doable process to create a better 21st century healthcare delivery system starting in your own state.
Yes. And
Vital and
I'm
important.
available to speak to audiences anywhere. They can reach me through the website or through my email at drirawilliams@gmail.com.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate you talking before our audience here today, Doctor. Thank you so much for your time, your wisdom, and your insight.
Thank you very much, Logan.
I appreciate it. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.